Hello, everyone, and thank you so much for joining our LeagueApps Level Up live webinar. Our main focus today is looking at leveraging the LeagueApps customer success team for your team's success. I will be your host today, accompanied by a few co-hosts as well. My name is Robert Bennett. I am a customer success trainer and enablement specialist here at LeagueApps, and I'm really excited to be here today sharing with all the participants about our amazing customer success team. Before we get started, I do want to walk through some of the logistics within our live webinar and some of the capabilities that you'll have within the Zoom webinar interface today. Although your microphone and your camera will be muted, you'll still be able to interact with our team in terms of being able to interact with our chat and our Q&A. So if you do have questions throughout the presentation, feel free to drop those questions throughout in our Q&A section, and our team will do our best to answer them in real time. But we will also allocate 5 to 10 minutes at the end of the presentation and open the floor up for any questions as well. Throughout the presentation, we will be sharing resources and links for you to use and interact with as well. So we want to keep you engaged and keep you informed as much as possible. So let's get started with today's agenda. Now we're going to be looking at our focus for today. We're going to be looking at LeagueApps culture and values, along with customer success team overview, which is going to be run through by Zach Boise, our VP of Customer Success. Level up your organization's operation efficiency. We're also going to be looking at customer success team resources. We're going to be walked through by Taylor Collins, Director of Customer Support. We're going to be looking at knowledge base, live chats, and even emailing support. Additional resources we'll be running through will be LeagueApps All-Stars, which is our advocate hub. And then towards the end of our presentation, like we mentioned before, we will open the floor up for any Q&A that you may have. Before we get started, I do want to share this quote with you today by Nelson Mandela. This quote is something that we really do truly live by here at LeagueApps. Sport has the power to change the world. It has the power to inspire. It has the power to unite people in a way that little else does. It speaks to youth in a language they understand. Sport can create hope where once there was only despair. It is more powerful than government in breaking down racial barriers. It laughs in the face of all types of discrimination. It's a very powerful quote, and I think that that's something that we, coming into work at LeagueApps, we want to kind of embody this message with everything that we do. And when we look at why LeagueApps and what sets us apart from our competitors and some other companies throughout our industry, is one, our comprehensive capabilities. No other platform gives you the ability to manage your operations both on and off the field and integrates with as many third-party tools. Our revenue growth. We make it easy to configure everything, helping you meet parents where they are, collect more fees, and generate additional revenue. Championship customer service. We prioritize same-day customer support. We are there to guide you through program setup, and we help you grow and scale your business. Professional community. We run Next Up, the industry's only community for youth sports management, giving you the tools you need to play and to win. And a change-making contributions. We donate 1% of our revenue through our Fund Play program, so athletes in underserved communities have access to sports. Something that we really love here at LeagueApps is our sports dog values. This is something that we really incorporate to every single process, into our interview process, and we even align these values with our partners as well. First, sportsmanship. We want to support and empower each other through everything that we do. Passion, bringing a sense of passion to everything that we do and trying to inspire others to do the same. Openness. Want to be open and transparent within our communication and willing to learn new things and have new ideas. Results. always want to focus on the goals and accomplishing our goals. Teamwork, working together for a common goal and a common interest. Student of the game, being in a growth mindset, learning and always growing. Being a difference maker, trying to make an impact and thinking a little bit outside the box. Own your own role, executing your assignment to the best of your ability with consistency and enthusiasm. And grit, staying persistent and consistent no matter what challenges come your way. Now, I do want to speak really quickly on our fun play, which we'll showcase in just a moment. But every year, LeagueApps provides sports-based youth development organizations with grants for LeagueApps software through the Fun Play program, giving them the opportunity to manage their programs free of charge and make sports more available for their communities. By breaking down these barriers, our hope is that they'll have more time and resources to invest back into their communities and the kids. I'm going to play a quick video to just walk a little bit more in detail about Fun Play and hear it from our partners and their experiences and impact that we made in their communities.
At LeagueApps, we believe that everyone should be able to play. But children from underserved communities often miss out on this opportunity. That's why we created Fun Play, which provides technology, training, and support to sports-based youth development programs across the country so that all kids have access to the benefits of sport.
I honestly believe that youth sports really allow to develop the whole person.
We really try to focus on building up our young people's critical thinking skills, character, and leadership development.
We work with mission-aligned organizations that use sport as a tool for improving outcomes for at-risk youth and are passionate about building healthy communities.
A lot of our athletes come from lower income families. And so our program really makes that center of our mission to make it so that all athletes, regardless of income, money is not a barrier to participation. I mean, this is the game of just put on a pair of shoes and run.
If you look geographically, you have lacrosse in Northern Virginia, you have lacrosse in Maryland, but there isn't a lot of lacrosse opportunities in DC. So when the kids have the opportunity to play that sport for free, it breaks so many different barriers.
LeagueApps software helps Fun Play partners operate and grow their programs.
LeagueApps is the first that has a program designed for grassroots small nonprofits and does something about it, which I think speaks volumes about LeagueApps.
You have provided us an online platform to make it a lot easier for us to get the registrations, all the information, updates for our families.
LeagueApps helps us in gathering information, key information of our families and our youth participants.
It's not challenging anymore to get the kids out here to see how many participants we have or to track that information to make our organization grow.
Our Fun Play partners provide youth with the life skills they need to be successful on and off the playing field, now and in the future.
That was an amazing kind of recap and showcasing the impact that Fun Play has on those communities. I love watching those stories and hearing from those people.
At LeagueApps.
Now I want to introduce our co-host for today, Zach Boise, VP of Customer Success. The floor is yours, Zach. Take it away.
Thank you, Robert. Really appreciate that. And thank you everyone for joining this afternoon or morning if you're not on the East Coast. We really want to introduce all of our webinars by sharing that story because we believe it's a true difference maker that we have LeagueApps versus some of the other tools on the market. And the purpose of my section here is to talk a little bit more about the customer success team, as well as ways that we can help you level up in making you more operationally efficient in your day-to-day work. This is an overview of the customer success leadership team. You've heard from Robert, and you're going to be hearing from Taylor shortly. But what you can also see with this slide is that we've got positions that aren't just managing our teams, but also internal partnerships to ensure that you, our partners, are getting more from product, from customer communications, and from some of the other resources that we have available. So this sort of extended leadership team, we really front and center focus on the partner. On a weekly basis, we're meeting and figuring out the best ways that we can offer resources to you, like our newsletter, like these webinars moving forward. Our customer success management team, as you can see here, are focused on different regions in order to help you to get the most out of the strategic conversations moving forward and getting the most out of your LeagueApps solution. They will be facilitating regular account reviews, helping you to activate, retain, and grow throughout your journey and your partnership with LeagueApps moving forward. It's not just the software solution, as Robert mentioned before, it's what we do with our communities. And ultimately, at the end of the day, really want to make you be as operationally efficient as possible, so you can spend less time worrying about software and about registrations and more time with your coaches, with your parents, and with your players, and helping them learn and make a difference through sport. One of the ways that we encourage you to better communicate, I have an example from this past weekend where one of my son's teammates wasn't able to show up for games because he didn't know that the games are taking place. So we offer a tool called LeagueApps Play to help better communicate with coaches, parents, and players around activities, events, and same day, any potential changes that may happen. We're launching a new version of our Play application next month, and we'll be sure to be sharing a lot more about this as we move forward. We're very excited about the functionality that we have to offer and a very clean user interface that we never spam your members with ads. We want to make sure that your coaches, players, and parents are getting the most out of the Play app, knowing what's the most important information so that they're having the best experience on the field. We also want to ensure to work with you on any sales and marketing efforts. And so opportunities to help you enhance or develop a website that can be used for registrations or for e-commerce. And in 2 weeks' time, you'll see a slide later, on June 28th, we'll be facilitating a webinar with Ripken Baseball about how our design shop team made the most out of their youth sports website in order to drive more attendance and better registration through our tools. And finally, we know that all of our partners aren't using just LeagueApps on a day-to-day. They're using a multitude of other tools in order to make sure that their operations are working from the ground up. We've developed lots of partnerships with integration partners that serve kids and parents, that help with your sales and marketing and your business operations. And if you don't see one of these partnerships in some of these bubbles, we have automations that help you bring data, bring information into the LeagueApps ecosystem. And so encourage you that if you haven't heard about any of these and you want more information, one way to do so is to reach out to the customer success team or to customer support. But as you'll see later in this webinar, we've created an ecosystem called our LeagueApps Advocacy Hub, where you'll be able to learn and sign up and get information about all that was just covered, again, with the intent of leveling up your organization with organizational efficiency. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Taylor Collins, who's our Director of Customer Support, to walk you through the team resources that are available within his team.
Hello, everyone. Thank you all for coming today. As Zach said, I'm the Director of Customer Success. My main responsibility is managing the support team here. And that team, of course, we're the kind of the front lines answering your questions about LeagueApps, usually those one-off technical questions that come in. And you'll see it's a pretty small team. You probably recognize some of these names here. There's myself, Brittany, Anki, Madison, Faith, Josephine, and Mark. And then we also have some other team members that are more specialists. So we have Tyler focusing on payments, Dan in our pro support, and then Melissa Mercado, who helps with our design shop support, like Zach just mentioned. And it's a great team. They really do care. When you send in a question, they want to get to the bottom of it and get you an answer quickly. And part of what makes our job fun here is working with you. Our partners are fantastic. They're fun to work with. You're all respectful. And you all have a passion for sports just like we do. And it really puts us all on the same page and makes it fun to work with you and answer your questions. And we do have a lot of resources for you besides just the support team. The first one I want to highlight is our knowledge base. This is at support.leagueapps.com. You can also get to this from your LeagueApps account. At the very bottom, there's going to be a link to the support center. And there are hundreds of articles here. Whenever we release a new feature, there's going to be updated documentation about that on our knowledge base here. So this is always a good first place to go check to see if you can find an answer. You're going to find how-to guides, step-by-step instructions, and other stuff like that. And if you ever have suggestions for help pages, we are always welcome to suggestions. So feel free to send those our way as well. And we'll show you on the next slide here, the ways you can get in touch with us. The first one, we get this question often is, how can I get some live help? We do have live chat on weekdays, and you'll have to access this from your LeagueApps account. So when you log in as an administrator, in the bottom right, when live chat is online, you're going to see the little bubble there that says chat. And here you'll be able to speak with an agent when they are available, and we'll just chat back and forth to get your questions answered. And live chat is typically available on weekdays from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. It will be offline. Sometimes the team is in meetings, or sometimes we'll have a couple people out sick or something, and that'll force us to focus our resources elsewhere. But generally 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern time on weekdays, you'll see live chat available there. And the other main methods as well are email support, and we'll show you a couple ways to send those along. You can also email us from within your LeagueApps account as well. If you click, if live chat isn't online, down to the bottom right, you'll see a bubble that says support, and you can email us right there. You'll ask for your email address, your name, and then you put in your question. You can also send us an email from our help site. At the bottom of the help site, you're going to see a link that says submit request. You put in that request form, and this is going to ask for some information about you as well, which really helps us find your account and know what you want to ask a lot more quickly. This form is also going to suggest some help center or some knowledge base help pages for you in case the answer is there instead of emailing us. But if you do need to email us, we welcome that. We love answering your questions. Just be sure to include as much detail as possible. For example, if you have a question about an invoice, make sure you give us that invoice number or a link to the program. If you need help with a member, perhaps like a member merge or something like that, make sure you give us the name and an email address. Or if you're running into an error message, a screenshot is always very helpful as well. Our support specialists are very experienced, and usually when they see an error message, they know what to do pretty quickly. And those are the ways to get in touch with us.
Thank you, Taylor. Really appreciate the walkthrough there, and hopefully you have learned something already about ways to get in touch with our support team or to self-serve and get answers from within our knowledge base and support center. I want to say here that there are also, outside of the people and the processes that we've laid out, we have a series of additional resources, and hopefully you've learned about some of these through our partner newsletter recently, but wanted to give a quick sort of recap here about additional resources that we have available. So, coming off of that amazing video about fun play, we want to make sure that you're getting best practices and industry news about youth sports. And so we have a blog that is available, and there's an opportunity for you to subscribe to this blog in our youth sports highlight reel. So encourage you to take a look at the blog and to subscribe to get case studies on a weekly basis. In addition, we send out a partner newsletter the first week of every month. And our intent here is to round up all the exciting things that we have for the month ahead. So you might have learned about this webinar from the announcement in our newsletter from earlier this month. In addition to updating you on events like webinars or conventions or tournaments that the LeagueApps team will be at, we also want to spotlight a partner and talk about some of the best practices that they have been able to leverage in order to level up their organization through the partnership with LeagueApps, as well as spotlights of our fun play partners, as you can see here with ice hockey in Harlem. In addition, we're constantly making improvements and updates to our product. And so in addition to the knowledge-based pages that Taylor mentioned earlier, we will also highlight any feature enhancements or product updates within this newsletter as well. So if you're not already receiving the newsletter, we encourage you to sign up. We have tons of social presence, and we know that people are living on their mobiles day to day, and we know that people aren't always checking email, and we have lots of great visual content. Like you saw in that fun play video, we're trying to highlight our partners as much as possible and share the wonderful stories on how youth is making an impact on the lives, sports are impacting the lives of our youth and our broader communities. So encourage you to take a look at our presence on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. In addition, we have a real solid presence on LinkedIn, including the sort of profile of our CEO, Brian Litvak, who tends to pull together lots of great industry updates, connecting with other professionals within the youth sports world. And he's a great person to follow in order to get industry news. At the bottom of every one of our customer success managers' signatures, you'll see their LinkedIn profile as well. Encourage you to get to know, not just the name and the face and the email of your LeagueApps team, but also to follow and see what they're excited about sharing within the LinkedIn community. And this is something that I'm really excited about, and we'll step away from the slides for a few minutes. But we launched recently the LeagueApps All-Stars Advocate Hub. And this is an opportunity for us to incentivize and reward our partners for doing all the great things that they do, being a part of the LeagueApps community. So you'll see that there's opportunities to get firsthand updates on events, allow you to participate in our conversations and be featured yourself or your organization be featured, referring other organizations that might benefit from using LeagueApps, and get a direct line of communication with our team. So there's a link here at the bottom of the slide. I believe someone's going to drop this link into the Q&A. But when we share a copy of this recording after the meeting, and we share the follow-up slides, we'll also include this link. And I'm going to dive into the platform itself, because I would like to, if Taylor or Robert give me a thumbs up that you can see the Advocate Hub. All right, excellent. So when you log into the Advocate Hub for the first time, and this is being powered by a tool called Influitive, what you'll see are a series of challenges. And you'll first and foremost be prompted into this Welcome to LeagueApps All-Stars set of challenges. So you can understand a little more about what this Advocate Hub is meant to do for you. And so you can open up a series of little surveys and challenges. And when you ultimately give your answers and hit let's do this, you'll then receive rewards. You can see on the right-hand side of the homepage that there is a leaderboard that you can see where you stack up against your fellow peers. Some people are really competitive and want to move up that leaderboard, but we have more than 50 challenges within the LeagueApps Advocate Hub that will allow you to move up the leaderboard. And ultimately, what you can do with these points that you earn is redeem them for rewards. As we started out this webinar talking about fun play and the differences that we believe we have with some of our competitors out there, we first and foremost want you to see that you can redeem your points for a charitable donation back to our fun play partners. Your charitable donation is not a piece of the 1% that we give back to our fun play partners on an annual basis. This is an additional way to support some of our fun play partners. In addition, there's an opportunity to redeem for a Starbucks for yourself personally, or Dick's Sporting Goods for yourself or for your teams, in addition to Amazon and Visa. We got a few great sort of bundles here. Some of you have seen, in the slides earlier, that we have a LeagueApps avatar or emoji for each of our LeagueApps team members. There's an opportunity for you to get a personalized cartoon as well, if you think this is a fun little thing, where we'll put your brand name on your avatar to be used for yourself, as well as some other LeagueApps swag. And there's a couple of other little fun things that we have around food and dining. So we're sort of gamifying this opportunity for you to be a bigger part of the LeagueApps community through both learning, but also participating in some of our advocacy events. So one way that you can participate in advocacy is through this channel here called Customer Connections. And really encourage you, and you can see by the sheer volume of rewards here that we're offering or points that we're offering, we really want to be able to spotlight as many organizations and partners as possible. So if you haven't logged into Influida, or if you're interested in learning more, I really encourage you to click on this channel, because it'll offer you an opportunity to speak at a future event or webinar, to write a testimonial, to host an event with LeagueApps, or to serve as a reference with other organizations evaluating LeagueApps. So encourage you to complete that. You'll be halfway on your way to swag or other gifts just by completing this simple challenge. And then you can see here in the other customer connections, a lot of what I have shared already today, we will actually incentivize you if you want to follow us on Twitter or Facebook, Instagram, or LinkedIn. So an opportunity to check out. We also have partners that are willing to offer up discounted tickets or opportunities for your teams, like with Premier Lacrosse League. So an opportunity to see what other partners are offering to the LeagueApps family of partners through the relationships that we have. I'm going to just quickly walk through one or two more channels so you can see where you get the most up-to-date information. One of those is events and webinars, where you can sign up for future webinars like this youth sports website webinar. We'll also be facilitating a Next Up conference sometime in the fall. So if you're interested in learning more about that, we ask you to complete this challenge. In addition to all the stuff I mentioned earlier around our integration partners, if you want to get a deeper knowledge about how to leverage those integration partners, we have these tiles here that you can click in, learn more about players' health, and as this is loading up here, get rewarded for learning more about our integration partners, as well as tips and tricks and tools on how to get signed up and integrated with these integration partners. And finally, one of the great things that Robert has brought to the table as our training enablement specialist are a series of training videos that are very simple and relevant to you if you just want a quick refresher on LeagueApps 101, 201, and 301. These are sequenced, so we don't unlock these challenges until you go through the first sort of level of the training. But these are 8 or 9 minute sort of overviews. In the first 101, we discuss profile fields, form fields, waivers, etc. And once you watch the video, we'll ask you a few questions to see how you do. And once you check your answers, you'll get rewarded for watching the video and for answering the questions accurately. So encourage you to take a look at our training and onboarding videos that we have here, 101, 201, and 301. And finally, I want to just show you one other way that you can earn points and also help LeagueApps to be more successful in providing the best solutions for our sports communities. And that's the opportunity to refer partners or organizations in your area that you think will love being a part of the LeagueApps family. So there's an opportunity for you to go into this referrals tab at the top and to enter in information about your referrals. Obviously, we want to incentivize you along the way. So we'll give you a bucket of points just for submitting a referral. And the further that partner gets or that prospect gets with our sales team, they'll immediately get a demo. They'll have a conversation with one of our sales executives. And as the prospects complete certain steps along the way, we'll continue to let you know where that prospect is in the funnel, and you'll redeem or receive additional points as you get through the various stages of them ultimately being a prospect and becoming a partner of LeagueApps. So with that, I'm going to bounce back into our slides here with 2 quick reminders. And then as Robert mentioned up front, we want to make sure that we give some time for Q&A throughout the way. So we do have this great 5 best practices to create a youth sports webinar on June 28th at the same time. We'll be joined by our partner Ripken Baseball to talk about how our design shop process works and how that's upped the amount of participants that Ripken Baseball has had in their programs by having a professionally designed and maintained website. And in the future, if you want to learn more about our Level Up with LeagueApps webinars, you'll see them within our partner newsletter. And there's also that channel that I mentioned before, the events and webinars, where you'll have an opportunity to go in and subscribe. Within that events and webinars channel, Our team is often on the road, as I mentioned earlier, attending tournaments and conventions. So we'll have updates in there based on where the League Apps team is going to be. Obviously, love to see you in person as we come out of the last 2 years of lots of virtual presentations and meetings. One of the focus areas for us the back half of the year is getting back on the field, on the road, and spending more time with our partners like you. So as a recap here, really just want to thank you all for joining today as we learned more about the League Apps culture and values, something that we feel stands apart, as Robert mentioned before. This is something that is ingrained in our interview process, in our recognition process, in our performance review process. And I think, after hearing from a number of partners, since I've been on board here at LeagueApps for about 9 months, is a lot of our partners embody the same values. And we encourage you to steal some of the similar values. I hear passion come up all the time. Obviously, a focus on results. But us as a customer success team, we want to make sure that we are helping you achieve your results, that we are helping you own your role in your organization. And as I mentioned before, as I gave the customer success team overview, how we can help you level up your organization's operational efficiency. At the end of the day, the more time that we can have you with your parents and players and coaches, providing the best sports experience, the less time that we can have you in a piece of software. That's why this sort of level up webinar it's so much more than the platform that we offer when you're a partner within the League Apps family. Taylor did a phenomenal job walking you through all the various ways that you can interact with our customer support team. Oftentimes people are looking for just an email address, but the live chat is a great piece of functionality. Our knowledge base has so much robust information that we encourage you to take a look at. If you can't fall asleep in the middle of the night and you're like, oh, I want to learn more about that integration, there's all this great information within our knowledge base and within the League Apps All-Stars Advocate Hub. So with that, I am going to say it is time for some Q&A. I think Tex and Robert have been monitoring there. So we'll allow you some of those questions to be answered, as well as if someone wants to raise their hand, they can ask a question. So.
Looks like there are some questions that have come into the Q&A. We have Rob, who posed a question: any plans to integrate a point of sale option in addition to League Apps for our ice rink facility? I think this is a question from Rob.
Great, Rob. So this is Zach continuing to talk. We are spending a lot of time talking to individual sports organizers within specific sports to understand the nuances of their business. And that point of sale question is one that does come up on a frequent basis. And what we will do as a product team and executive team are look at their requests for additional functionality from our various partners and either figure out whether we want to build them into our platform directly or to work with an integration partner to help get that information into the League Apps ecosystem. So I am giving you sort of our thought process around that answer as opposed to a direct answer. I can tell you from a first person response that we have been talking about that a handful of times and hope to bring a better solution to the table so that you can see this information within the ecosystem. But great question. And again, one that we've heard from other partners, especially facility owners or hockey partners or volleyball teams that use facilities and are looking to leverage that point of sale information.
Thank you so much, Zach, for that. And the next question we have is from Eric. He's asking, do you ever think we will have the ability to use the registration as a budget to enter expenses?
So I'm smiling, Eric, because I just came off of a 2-day offsite retreat with other members of the senior leadership team. And this is something that we not only discussed, but also in the past month or so did a product sort of think tank brainstorming whiteboarding session where we talked about expense management very directly. So I am not a member of the product team. I know it is on their sort of plan for the future. And we will continue to update as we make progress around expense management. But that is something that again, we've heard through both customer interviews, but also through some partner surveys, something that people are very interested in.
Great stuff. Great stuff. Next question we have is from Joe. Is there a way to record results and update standings within LeagueApps?
This one, I have a more direct answer. So within the next few weeks, we will be updating our scheduling and the element of scorekeeping into both our LeagueApps operating platform, but also into our LeagueApps Play updated mobile app. So we will absolutely be releasing that in the near-term future. It's not going to happen overnight, but during the month of July, you will see some updates here around the product updates in our partner newsletter, as well as a webinar that we'll be facilitating around our LeagueApps Play app, where we will absolutely touch on the scheduling and scorekeeping element of the question that you just asked. Thank you.
All right, and this next question is in relevance to our integration. Any ideas when QuickBooks integration will be rolled out?
So I've been answering a lot of these questions, and Taylor, I don't want to put you directly on the spot here, but with the QuickBooks integration piece, you have a little bit of an update on where we are there?
It is being actively worked on and it is in testing, but this has been something we've wanted to do for a long time and it's extremely difficult. It's kind of one of those things you're like, yeah, let's just integrate with QuickBooks. And then our engineers start looking at the way QuickBooks works versus how LeagueApps works and making them talk to each other correctly. So it makes sense for your financial bookkeeping. And it's been really difficult, but it is something that is being worked on. I don't want to throw a date down and then be wrong and then have you all be annoyed with me. But it is being actively worked on, which is good news, I hope. So, and I think, as Zach said, you will see correspondence and updates coming out about that once it is rolled out to the entire partner base. And I'm sure we'll do webinars on it as well and things like that. So you can utilize that tool to integrate LeagueApps with QuickBooks Online.
That is one that we're absolutely excited about and focused on. And to Taylor's point, there's been some nuances like cash-based versus accrual-based accounting, but we're looking at the solutions. And as we get through testing here, make sure that we have the best integration set up once we go live with it.
Awesome. We have another question from Shannon, something else that we're super excited about, which is the LeagueApps updated Play 3.0 app. The question is there a set date or quarter that we can expect to see those updated features? Their players are really looking forward to it, and especially the announcement tool.
Yes, so we will have a Level Up with LeagueApps webinar the 3rd or 4th week of July to talk about all the features of the enhanced LeagueApps Play 3.0. So quarter is next quarter, month is end of July, where we'll be very transparent about all the updated features and functionality. And Robert will be creating a training video behind our Play 3.0 app for organizers, coaches, parents, and players, because I have 3 boys that are involved in youth sports and use a plethora of different apps to manage their basketball schedules. And I know that the way that I use the app is different than the way that my son uses the app, the way the coach uses the app, and the organizers set it up. So we're going to ensure that we have the right documentation and information and video trainings so that you and your coaches, parents, and players can get the most out of that app and leverage the functionality around scorekeeping, announcements, scheduling, chat, et cetera, et cetera. So be on the lookout for that. It is around the corner as we turn from June to July.
Very exciting, very exciting. Thank you so much. As of right now, those are all the questions that we have currently. But this is very informative. Thank you so much for sharing that information, Zach and Taylor.
Excellent. So with that, I want to, one more here. All right, Eric, we will have Taylor follow up with you directly on that one so that we can see why that piece is not working right now. So with that, I want to thank you and encourage you to play forever. This is the first time that we facilitated a live webinar in a period of time. And so appreciate all you trailblazers for jumping on and learning more about ways that the LeagueApps customer success team can make your teams more successful. Again, as someone that has coached a team and has been in software for more than a decade and used software for much longer, for me, it's all about the experience that our partners can deliver on the field. You're not getting kudos from your community or from your teams on how effective or efficient the software is. It's all about the way that you provide a great experience on the field. So it's our job here to ensure that you are as operationally efficient and effective as possible. So with that, as we close out, we're going to put a poll up on the screen, just asking you to rate the content of this session. And then we encourage you to reach out to any of us afterwards. You'll get a response from the you'll get a recap of this information via email, as well as a recording. Encourage you to check out our LeagueApps All-Stars Advocate Hub. And have a great rest of the week. It was really great to see so many smiling faces. Well, actually, I couldn't see you, but hopefully you were smiling there. It was great to see so many of you join the webinar today, and look forward to seeing you out on the road here in the near future. Take care.